They called her weak. They called the horse useless, both afraid, both misunderstood. But the night, the barn caught fire when everyone else stepped back. The two who were broken were the only ones who stepped forward. In a quiet countryside town in Montana, there lived an 11-year-old girl named Eliana Brooks. She wasn't loud. She wasn't popular. She wasn't the fastest runner or the best speaker in class. But she was known for something else. Too sensitive. Too quiet. Too weak. Every time the teacher asked for volunteers, her heart pounded so hard she thought everyone could hear it. When she tried to speak, her throat tightened, and when the laughter came, it stayed with her long after school ended. One afternoon, she came home with red eyes and trembling hands. Her grandfather, a retired rancher, noticed. Words hurt more when we believe them. He sighed, gently. The next morning, he took her somewhere she had never been before, an old ranch on the edge of town. That was where she met him, a gray horse, standing alone at the far end of the stable. His name was Storm, but there was nothing Storm-like about him. Storm was terrified of everything. Loud engines, sudden movements, even his own shadow stretching across the barn floor. The ranch hands shook their heads. He's no good for riding. Spooks too. Izali. Useless. The word hit Eliana like a stone. Useless. That was the word they used for her too. She didn't try to ride him. She didn't pull on his reins. She simply sat outside the fence every afternoon after school. At first, Storm stayed far away, but she spoke softly anyway. I get scared too, she whispered one day. Sometimes I'm scared before anything even happens. Days turned into weeks. Storm started standing closer. Then one day, he let her touch his neck. His heartbeat was fast. So was hers. You're not broken, she whispered. And maybe, neither am one. Little by little, something changed. Storm didn't stop being afraid, but he stopped running every time. And Eliana didn't stop feeling nervous, but she started staying a little longer. Then came the county fair. Fireworks, music, crowds. The ranch had organized a small exhibition, and against everyone's expectations, Eliana asked if she could walk Storm in the open field. The adults hesitated. He'll panic. But she insisted. That evening, the sky exploded with color. Storm froze. His muscles tightened. The first firework cracked like thunder. He reared slightly. The crowd gasped. Eliana's old fear rushed back all at once. The voices, the laughter, the word weak, echoing in her head. Storm trembled beneath her hands. He wanted to bolt. She could feel it. And for a split second, so did she. She wanted to run too. Then another firework exploded. Closer. Louder. A spark fell into a stack of dry hay near the outer barn. Within seconds, flames rose. Screams filled the air. Children were still near the gate. Chaos. Storm tried to turn away from the fire. Eliana tightened her grip, not harshly, but firmly. It's okay, she whispered, even though her own voice was shaking. The heat grew stronger. The crowd scattered, and in that moment, the two useless souls had a choice. Run, or step forward. Eliana leaned closer to Storm's ear. We can be scared, but we don't have to run. Something shifted. Storm stopped backing away. His breathing slowed, just enough. Then he stepped toward the flames. Not recklessly, but bravely. They moved to the children near the gate, guiding them away from the smoke, shielding them from the panic. Storm's legs trembled the entire time. Eliana's hands shook on the reins, but they didn't turn back. By the time firefighters contained the blaze, the children were safe. No one was hurt. The crowd stood silent. The same ranch hands who had called him useless stared in disbelief. That horse. One of them muttered. Eliana slid down from Storm's back, tears streaming down her face. Not from fear, but from something deeper. For the first time, she understood something powerful. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is moving forward while your heart is still shaking. Months later, When her teacher asked for a volunteer to present in front of the class, Eliana's heart still pounded. Her palms were still sweaty, but she remembered a gray horse stepping toward fire. She raised her hand. Her voice trembled at first, tense, steady. She wasn't fearless. She was brave. And Storm, he never stopped being sensitive. He never became the fastest horse on the ranch, but he became something far greater. He became proof that being afraid does not mean being weak. Sometimes, the ones who feel the most endure the most. And sometimes, two broken spirits don't fix each other. They remind each other that they were never broken to begin with. Courage isn't about being fearless. It's about choosing to move forward even when fear is screaming at you to run. The world may label you as too much or not enough, but the right moment will reveal your strength. What fear has been defining your life, and what would happen if you decided to face it? Even while trembling,